Okay, before I go any further, this video will contain spoilers for Fast and Furious 10. So if you're watching this and you have not seen the movie yet, go see the movie, then come back because I'm going to speculate and give you my predictions for what I think may happen in Fast and Furious 11, which is the next one, or at 10 2, or if they make it a trilogy. So because we don't know if this is going to be a trilogy or two movies. They haven't really announced. Vin Diesel said they're going to make it a trilogy, but there's talk that like if the movie doesn't do well, and it's doing okay, it's not doing terribly right now, but if it doesn't do what the studio wants, they're going to make it back into one movie again. So basically, the sequel to Fast 10 will either be two movies or one movies. However, for the purpose of this video and my predictions, I'm not going to say like too much about which movie these things will happen in. Let's just say that I'm going to predict the next movie or the next two movies depending on what they do. We're going into story stuff. So, all right, here we go. Are you ready? Spoilers, here we go. So I'm gonna start. I have bullet points written down here. I'm gonna start with this. So the post-credit scene or mid-credit scene showed that Dante is going after Hobbs. I think what he's gonna do is probably go after Hobbs' daughter because, as we've seen in the previous movies, he's the coach of her team and he loves her and he's like a single parent. So if Dante's okay with killing Dominic Toretto's son like he tried to do in Fast X, he should not have a problem going after Hobbs' daughter. He's either going to kill her or try to kill her, that is, or kidnap her. And I think a big chunk of the movie will be Hobbs. I think we'll see that in the movie. I think Hobbs will be trying to go after Dante instead of Dante trying to go after Hobbs. With the story being, well, why do I got to find you? I'm going to make you find me. That's my first bullet point. So, next one, another villain above Dante. So, I don't know if they're really going to do this or not, but there was a interview, I think, about 2-3 years ago where I forget if it was Michelle Rodriguez or Vin Diesel, but they said they wanted Robert Downey Jr. to play the villain in the last movie. However, Jason Momoa is here now, and Jason Momoa is doing a fantastic, fantastic job as Dante. To be honest, Dante is my favorite villain of all time. So I'm going to predict that I think there could be a villain above Dante, but I don't see how because Dante's got tie-ins to the past. Dante's got he did a great job in the last movie. I feel like he should probably be the last villain. Honestly, I really do feel that way. Although they might do Robert Downey Jr. I don't know. It'd be cool to see him. But I think Dante. I think Jason Momoa did such a good job in Fast X. I think that he should be the main villain. Now, what about other villains? Okay, I want there to be a situation because remember, Braga's still alive, and for all we know, Johnny Tran might have survived somehow because no one's ever really gone. So I would like it if Dante and previous villains like Braga, like Johnny Tran, teamed up together. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the villains became good guys. So my next prediction is Cypher. I don't think she's going to stay a good guy. I think she's going to be revealed to be a villain. Maybe not somebody on Dante's side, but I just cannot picture her being redeemed after what she did to Elena in Fast 8. I just don't think that she can be redeemed. So she needs to not only should she like stay a villain, but she should also get killed in the next two movies. I think she should not survive this, yo. Now, so I do think other villains are coming. Now, speaking of villains, what about the Shaw brothers? Well, the storyline that was teased is the Shaws trying to save Mom, right? Trying to save Helen Mirren's character. But I think what they're gonna do is not only have Owen and Deckard Shaw, but I think the sister will be there too. I think that the sister, who was one of the main characters in Hobbs and Shaw, she'll make her return in the next Fast movie, and I think she will try to save the mom. So it'd be cool to see the whole family working together. I think it's gonna be an awesome sequence. That could be right in the middle or right at the opening of the film. Once they establish that the cast survives. So, by the way, that's something else. Everyone lives after Fast X. Everyone who died or who we think's gonna die, like Tej and Ramsey, they're not gonna die. They're gonna parachute out of the plane. They'll be alive. Somehow, Dom Toretto and Brian Jr. will live. I do not think that these death teases, they're not going to die because they have to work together again. Also, this also goes for John Cena. I could be wrong. I'm going to make a prediction right now, and my prediction is that Yeah, something fell behind me. Don't worry about it. My prediction is that he's not dead. Somehow Jacob Toretto survived. He's alive because there has to be a scene with John Cena and The Rock. There has to be. I don't understand how there couldn't be. There has to be a scene in the movie with John Cena and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. There has to be. I know they love doing meta stuff. We've seen The Rock do the rock bottom. We've seen John Cena do the attitude adjustment literally in Fast 10. No question about it. Now, I'm not even done yet. I think that Han will reunite with Giselle. I think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a very emotional scene because remember, he went to Tokyo because of her, so that's going to be freaking awesome. We're going to find out how Giselle survived. Obviously, in the next movie, we have to know, and we'll get that reunion. Also, there will be or must be a scene with Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. Wonder Woman, Aquaman in the DC universe. In this franchise, they're on opposite sides. So I do think that Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa are going to have to see each other. Also, in the big finale, we're going to see, in my opinion, we're going to see a situation where the entire world is going to be in danger. The entire world will be in danger, and everyone has to come together. And of course, the Fast crew will save the world. They've done teases like this before, but it's going to be a thing where the world is actually in real danger, meaning like something could happen where Cypher wants to hack the grid and shut down countries, like what they teased in Fast 6, and they actually get it done, and the world's in deep trouble until the Fast crew saves the day. Also, the entire team will work together to take out Momoa's group. I think it's going to happen. Unless they have another villain who will be higher than him, I think the entire team will come together in the last movie, including Luke Hobbs, including all the Shaw family, including the Puerto Ricans that were in 4 and 5 and 8, maybe even the Cuban guy from 8. Everyone is going to come together, Giselle, everyone. And maybe they'll have that dude from Fast and Furious 1 that drove off. I don't remember his name, but there's a lot of rumors. Well, not rumors. Fans want to see him come back. That's the one guy who never came back. So I want to see that. Also, Elena, the character of Elena, I don't think she's going to come back to life. I don't think so. Now, speaking of dying and coming back to life, so Paul Walker, meaning figuratively, I think after the last few movies, we are going to see CGI Paul Walker in this movie. Either it's going to be one of his brothers with like the CG effects replacing his face and clever angles, whether it be deep fake technology, whatever they want to do. I am convinced. I'm calling it right now, and I know it's going to happen. I'm super convinced that we're going to see Paul Walker. And not just his car. He's going to appear, whether it be during the final scene of the movie where he's like with his family, they could be having some poetic moment about family and then he shows up. Or maybe even what I thought they could do is have him actually save Vin Diesel's life. Since Fast X is like a sequel to Fast 5 and tied in, remember how in Fast 5, Dominic Toretto was about to get killed and then all of a sudden, bum, 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 Brian saved him? We need to do something like that where Dominic Toretto's once again about to get killed and then Paul Walker saves him. And they use CG effects. They could even put a helmet on him or something, or like, something to mask that. I just don't. I have a real hard time believing we're not going to see his character, the other main character, in the next 2 movies or the next movie. I don't see how they can do that without bringing him back one more time. I don't think it'll disrespect or desecrate what they did in Furious 7. I really don't think so. But I think it's something that probably needs to happen at this point, because if it doesn't, fans might be disappointed. Even if it's just for one scene. Because, dude, Mia Toretto almost got kidnapped in the last movie if it wasn't for Jacob. So, dude, that's his wife, man. And what are they going to do with the kids? Like, are their kids going to get in trouble? Like, get kidnapped or whatever by Dante? So the question is, and like I said, I think it's going to happen. There's no question. Question is, when this is all said and done, who's going to win and who's going to die? I have a feeling they're probably going to kill off Dominic Toretto. Vin Diesel will do a self-sacrifice and die. However, I also think because they've established these people to be almost like gods and superheroes, that there's a chance that it's not going to happen, that we're going to think he died and then he's actually okay. They could do something like that because, there's all kinds of talk about how in like 10 years they can reboot the franchise with Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor and Mia's children. You know what I mean? They all have kids and they do like the next generation. That could easily happen. Also, I should mention, because I forgot to say this earlier, I think the entire Fast 9 crew, like Bow Wow and all them, they're going to be in this movie as well. But will they die? I think what they are probably going to do is maybe kill off some of the Fast 9 people. They're not going to kill off Han and Giselle because they already came back from the dead. So I don't think they're going to do that. I could see it, but I don't think so. I have a feeling that the most likely characters to die, because I don't think it's going to be Luke Hobbs either. I think he'll survive too, and the Shaw brothers. You never know, but I think they will survive. But Owen Shaw might die because you have Deckard Shaw still alive, so he might die. It's possible. I'm not saying for sure. I think if Braga comes back, I think all the villains will die. Obviously, this time all the villains are going to really die this time. I hope. And then the character Tyrese plays, Roman, I have a weird feeling he might die only because the audience loves that character. His ad-lib jokes are funny. So yes, that could end up being a situation where he dies, just to kind of give us some real sympathy. I don't think they're going to kill off Brian O'Connor, though. Like Paul Walker's character, he died in the real world. I don't think they're going to do that because they might receive backlash from that. I really believe so. I think fans want him to ride off into the sunset in the Fast universe with Mia Toretto, even though obviously we know that he's no longer with us, the actor. Nevertheless, I think for the Brian character, he should not die. And they should not kill off Mia Toretto either. I think the most likely, Ramsey could die. Roman could die. I don't know. They could kill off most of the cast. I don't think Letty's going to die. Michelle Rodriguez, don't think that. I think the only woman that's probably going to die is Cypher. I think Cypher needs to die. Those are my predictions because, like I said, they could easily do a situation where Dominic Toretto does die. But part of me thinks that Vin Diesel wants to keep the character alive just in case when he gets older, he can come back and monetize with a reunion movie or something. You know what I mean? I don't think Vin Diesel, with the way he's written himself in the past 3 movies and the speculation of him being kind of egocentric when it comes to the character of Dominic Toretto, I think I really believe that he's going to keep the character alive. Jason Momoa's character will probably die because he kind of deserves it. And so will the other guy who turned, the other Aquaman from the Smallville show. I think he also dies. So those are my picks. I could also see a situation where Ludacris's character dies, although I have a weird feeling based on how the political climate is now that if they kill off too many black people, they might get complaints. And yes, I know that it shouldn't matter, it's fiction, but a lot of companies nowadays are scared of dealing with like hate campaigns or anger campaigns, political stuff on Twitter, the mob, as they say. So they might just not do that and just kill Roman. I think one of those two is probably going to die. And if I were to be a betting man, I guess Roman, because like I said, he's so likable. They have to have a death that's really going to bring everyone together. And that would actually be a good catalyst for the third act. He ends up dying, and that ends up inspiring everybody to come together. They're over there they're driving their cars. We're doing this for Roman. You know what I mean? That would be great. That would be great. And remember, Roman in Too Fast, Too Furious, he is Brian's friend. So even though Brian's not going to die, it's okay to take him out because they're more connected than, like Dominic is to Roman. In fact, Dominic and Roman probably haven't had that many conversations, if I'm being real with you. So those are my predictions for Fast and Furious 11, aka Fast 2 or 12. What do you think? Leave me about 2 or 3, maybe even 5 predictions down in the comments below. I appreciate you. Take care, y'all. See you soon.